Hey there, cats and kitties. I am the Blues Man, Johnny Blues, and today I'd like to talk about Doctor Who, specifically relating to that topic of great companions who never were in Doctor Who history. Background characters that made an impression, enough that would make you want to see them on further adventures, that kind of thing. And in this particular case, I'm actually going to be talking about someone who was a one-off companion during the specials period of Doctor Who when David Tennant was wrapping up his tenure as the 10th Doctor. In the episode Planet of the Dead. Now, you probably know where I'm going with this, but I actually think there's two potential ones that could be plucked out of this episode as potential companions. It would have made an interesting sort of triumvirate in Doctor Who that I think might have harkened back to the classic series. Now, of course, Planet of the Dead was an episode where you had the Doctor sensing or, trying to track down a wormhole of sorts, and he and a bunch of other characters end up on this double-decker bus, travel through this rift in time, this wormhole, and land on a desert planet where you have these aliens who look like sort of giant bug creatures and that everything like that. And, they uncover that there is a threat. There is a bigger threat on this planet. It's sort of a misdirection. I won't exactly explain what's going on, but it essentially sees these characters risking life and limb to get back to where they need to be, and then closing the rift behind them because there's a threat that might come through. And it's just really fun because you have in this episode showcased the lady Christina de Souza, as portrayed by Michelle Ryan, who is very much, at least to my mind, would have made a fun Catwoman-like companion for the Doctor. Imagine the Doctor loses his sonic screwdriver, and he has a companion like Lady Christina who can pick locks and who can find ways into buildings and stuff. Essentially, she's showcased after having dispatched, carried out a crime, dispatched with a wealthy valuable in a very Catwoman-like, cat burglar-like way. And that is kind of the crux of their meeting. And what I love about their dynamic is there is a sort of playfulness between them. There is a sort of not romantic tension necessarily or sexual tension, although you do get that vibe a little bit. But I just love the idea that she is so sort of, self-aware of her abilities and stuff like that. She's definitely got a chip on her shoulder, and I feel like her character would have been one that we really could have delved into sort of like a dark past or a mysterious history, learned a lot more about her character in maybe a similar way to how the Seventh Doctor would, sort of unravel little things about Ace's history and try to test her and manipulate her in certain ways, but because he knew she could achieve greatness. That kind of would have been the thing that would have attracted me to her becoming a main companion for a little while, as well as a character who also appears in the same episode. The scientist, I think his name was Malcolm Taylor or something to that effect, a comedic actor by the name of Lee Evans, ends up playing this character very sort of charmingly, and there's a funny dynamic going on there between him and the Doctor where it's like you're not sure if the Doctor is thoroughly impressed with him or taken aback by him because of his skill in working with deconstructing this wormhole and everything that's going on. And I just thought it would have been a fun idea to have them being a triumvirate, going on a couple adventures together, or maybe a whole series of adventures together, because of course you'd have a tension going on between his nerdy, sort of really super intelligent scientist character and this cat burglar-esque sort of rebel character, and then the Doctor being the center of that. It just would have been a really fun time in the TARDIS, I thought. And so yeah, that is one more, or a couple more great companions that never were in Doctor Who history in the modern series sense. And, maybe I'll do a couple more of these as I think of more companions that could have been. So I'd love to hear from you guys in the comments below what you think of this recommendation for companions that never were and should have been. And otherwise, I hope this video finds you well, and I'll catch you all later. Peace.